Mom, Dad, I just have to say, it breaks my heart watching you stress over dinner every night. This year, I don't want you doing the fridge stare down. Hot take, with the new Blue Apron, eating healthy is easy. They've got pre-made and one-pan meals with plenty of balanced nutrition. No subscription needed. You could be plating like a chef instead of negotiating with leftovers. Make it your healthy, tasty, and easy 2026 dinner resolution. Just saying.
Get $50 off your first 2 orders plus free shipping with code STIR50. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA's heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
Hello. Welcome to the Psych Legal Pop Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. My name is Brooke Brigham, and I'm the attorney.
And I'm Tess Brigham. I'm the therapist.
So today, we thought we were going to be able to bring you our first episode.
Searing commentary.
Yeah, our first episode of 90 Day Fiancé the Other Way. But for some reason, Discovery Plus is not putting it on early in the day. We have to wait till 8 o'clock tonight.
Yes.
And that's around my bedtime.
Yeah. From 8 to 10. And that I can't think about much of anything between 8 and 10.
No. So, and then we can't really record at 10 o'clock at night.
No, because that's really past my bedtime.
Yeah. So we're going to have to watch it tonight and record it tomorrow. Hopefully get it out by tomorrow evening or Tuesday morning at the latest.
Yeah, that's the hope, to get it out on Tuesday. But what will happen from here on out is this Monday show will now become a Tuesday show. So we didn't want to just rip the rug right out from under you if you were waking up
Don't want
morning.
to disrupt your life.
Yes, and just couldn't bear not spending the day listening to us. So this is just a little bit of a bonus. Yeah, hey, sorry.
Yeah.
We didn't realize that this, I don't know, it's not TLC, it's Discovery Plus, right?
Well, it's on TLC, but Discovery Plus that carries these TLC shows.
Yeah.
Like they put Sister Wives out at midnight the night before.
Yeah. So that's how we've been able to do it.
Yeah. So you can watch it when you get up Sunday morning. And I just assumed they would do the same thing, but
well, I don't know. Maybe it's just for the premiere. Oh God, are they going to screw us up again?
Know.
Anyway,
We'll
we're going to be covering it. It's happening. You might just be getting it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we apologize.
So instead, today we're going to talk about some hot topics.
Ooh. And a lot of these are sort of extensions from our last hot topic.
Yeah.
Like, these hot topics are so hot. They're ongoing. They're ongoingly hot.
So the first one is an update on Lisa Marie Presley.
Yeah, because I want to hear about this because I just saw the headline about what was going on, that Priscilla now is fighting the trust. But what is happening?
Not exactly. So anyway, Lisa Marie's estate is held in a trust. And originally when the trust was drafted, Priscilla and Lisa Marie's former business manager, Barry Siegel, were named as the co-successor trustees. Mm-hmm. So while Lisa Marie was alive, she was the trustee of the trust. Mm-hmm. And then upon death, you name who you want to take over as trustee. Those are called successor trustees. So they would then carry out whatever wishes or instructions are in the trust. And so apparently in 2016, there was a trust amendment that was made. I don't know where this amendment was found, if it came from her attorney or what the circumstances are. But the amendment changed the successor trustees and replaced them with her daughter, Riley, and her son, Benjamin, who passed away after that. So Priscilla is challenging that amendment, saying that amendment was it's not valid for several reasons. Mm-hmm. She's challenging the signature. She says the signature does not look like Lisa Marie's signature. She says that the amendment misspells Priscilla's name, that the amendment was never delivered to Priscilla, which is under the terms of the trust. If there's a change or an amendment, she should have received a copy of it, and it was not witnessed or notarized. So
that sounds valid, right? Because it has to be notarized, or no?
No, not necessarily. It does not have to be witnessed or notarized.
Okay.
At least in California law. But usually if a trust is initially notarized, like an amendment to a trust, you could argue should also have to be notarized.
But is this, the trust is it Tennessee because that's where Graceland is in Memphis? No. Or is this in California because they lived in California?
Yeah,
okay.
This was filed in LA County Superior Court because Lisa Marie lived in Woodland Hills when she died.
Okay,
so that's where the jurisdiction is. So I don't think that it not being witnessed or notarized is necessarily fatal, because unless the trust explicitly requires it. And I also don't think that these other things, not being delivered to Priscilla or her name misspelled, those are also kind of minor details. I think, because the court's going to try to uphold the wishes of the deceased person. Yeah. And, I guess if she thinks it's a forgery, the signature is not hers, you could easily get a handwriting expert.
So what's the issue, though? Because if Benjamin is gone, and so it sounds like her will was in the trust was never updated after Benjamin passed away.
Correct.
So wouldn't everything go back to Lisa Marie and then back to Riley?
This doesn't affect the disposition of her trust.
Oh.
This is just...
What's the disposition of the trust? That means who gets the money.
Who gets the money. This just affects who's going to act as the trustee and carrying out the provisions of the trust. So, for instance, and also in the same article I read, it's reported that the beneficiaries of her trust are her children. And so Riley is an adult.
Yeah.
So that's not really a big deal. There might, I don't know how old she is. Is she?
I want to say
is she over 25?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so.
So she's probably just going to inherit her share straight out. I mean, I don't know what the terms of the trust are. It could be that she gets distributions from it. Could be that she gets it straight out. But she has 2 minor daughters. So, there's going to have to be special, trust set up for them. And, it's a little more complicated. But it's not really that controversial. Whether Priscilla is the trustee or whether Riley is the trustee, they're both just going to hire an attorney, to help them, and they're going to carry out what's in the trust, and the result is going to be the same.
So do you think some of this is because Lisa Marie had a very difficult divorce and now custody battle with, Michael Lockwood, her 4th husband? So do you think this is Priscilla sort of trying to take control maybe away from Michael? Because now that Lisa Marie is gone, the 2 girls obviously are the ones that will inherit the money, but Michael as their father, and they're one legal parent at this point, isn't he in charge of their aspect of the trust? No. Okay.
No, not necessarily. I mean, usually if you have minor beneficiaries, then you would set up a trust within a trust for them.
Okay.
So because they can't inherit money yet.
Yes.
And even once they're 18, there could still be stipulations on it.
Yeah.
So what would happen is the trustee of the trust, of the main trust, would then set up sub-trusts to handle their money and distribute it, over the next however many years.
Yeah.
And
so
it's not really, I
really hate this phrase, but is it a nothing burger?
Kinda. I think so.
I always hate that phrase, but it kind of feels like, so is it just sort of a slow news day? I mean, because when I first saw that, I was like, ooh, what's the juicy, gossip here? What's happening?
It's not that juicy. The only thing that could be juicy is that if Priscilla and this other guy are the trustees, then they would be compensated for that. And I'm sure this trust is a very
huge. I'm sure it's giant, right?
Millions of dollars. So, I mean, they could, and if this is going to be an ongoing trust because there's minor beneficiaries and, who knows what's in this trust, that could be a lot of trustees' fees over a long period of time. Yeah. So, I mean, she has an economic stake in it. It could be a control thing. She was very much in control of Elvis's legacy. And, she did a lot of positive things.
She really was. She really did.
And really made sure that people didn't rip off his likeness and image and everything. So, and maybe she thinks, she can do a better job than Riley could. Although, like I said, Riley's just going to have a attorney, most of they're both going to just have attorneys do the work, but they get to make more important decisions, I guess, about the minor kids. And
I feel, I really hope that this doesn't mean that there's a rift between Priscilla and Riley, because that's the last thing. And I keep seeing these headlines, or I would read an article because I was reading they were talking about the ceremony and her funeral, and there was tons of things about like Lisa. This is where Lisa Marie's going to be. This is where they're making room for her next to her son.
Yeah, she's been buried.
She's been buried in Graceland. Yeah. But then you'll see something where it's like Priscilla says this is a really difficult time. It's like, no duh, it's a difficult time. Yeah. So I'm amazed that she's walking upright personally. I mean, I think this is utterly devastating for her.
It does seem a little quick. I mean, the funeral was just last week, and now today's Sunday, so the latest she could have filed this would have been Friday.
Yeah, I saw it on Friday.
Okay. So I don't know what the rush is. I don't know why she thinks that this is it seems like if she's challenging the signature, she thinks it's been forged. Well, who would forge? Who has the motive to do that? Yeah.
Michael Locke would make. I don't know. Is it him? I mean, I just know that they've had such this contentious, this difficult relationship. Is it him? Is it someone else?
But I mean, this amendment was probably found with the original trust, with her paperwork. You know what I mean? How would he get that in there?
Yeah, you're right. Well, I don't want to say anything. I don't know. This is just my thoughts, so I don't want.
It would be very simple. Again, take it to a handwriting expert. They can have an answer for you. Probably by the next day.
Maybe it was just a slow news day. Should we move on to the next topic? But people have now learned. Those were.
It's very dry.
It is
boring. It is.
So boring. Why?
It's so boring. Everybody thinks the law is what you see on television. No. It's stuff like this.
Yeah. All right.
For the most part. But also, too, I thought her, did you see any of the funeral?
I didn't know. I just read about it.
Yeah, I watched some of it. Very sad.
Oh, God, yeah.
But also very interesting. Some of the people who were there. I didn't know she was friends with Sarah Ferguson.
Yeah, that one I was surprised. That was like, when did you guys become friends?
That was odd. And I think apparently she was close with Axl Rose because he sang, but when he spoke first. And like they were very close. And which I guess it's not, they're both in that industry, but Axl Rose looked good.
Oh, good.
It's the best I've seen him look in a while.
That is good.
And another interesting thing is Priscilla read it was kind of like a poem that Riley wrote. And this is just part of the poem. It said, "She knew it was close to the end. Survivor's guilt, some would say, but a broken heart is the doing of her death." So,
well, I think it was, right? She was using drugs to cope with the loss of her son.
Yeah.
Right. And if we haven't gotten a reason why she passed away yet. We don't have the definitive whatever it is, but I think it was a broken heart. I really do. I mean, medically, I know that's not the truth, but I really do.
That was the root of it. But whether it was intentional or accidental, I don't know. But.
Oh, do you think? Yeah, I think it was an accident, but because I don't think she intended to, because she has other children. But she definitely, obviously, you know, it looked like she was coping by and I would be too. I'm with you, Lisa Marie. I don't know what I would do if to lose your child. So it's just really, like we talked about last time, it's just tragic. It just seems to be this generational tragedy of this family, you know?
Yeah.
So, continue to rest in peace, Lisa Marie.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on to something much lighter.
Yes. GMA. Good Morning America. So it's official that that they are now officially out, TJ and I've forgotten her first name. Amy Robach.
And TJ Holmes.
Yes. So they are officially out. And then this is interesting because the big headlines were all about how, TJ and Amy are in LA, you know, canoodling, and they've got their arms around each other. And so there's a series, you can go to Daily Mail, it's also on page 6, but there's a series of photos of the two of them, like on an LA street, walking around. And then there's this one photo, how they're holding hands. Hold on, come on, refresh, computer. This.
Oh.
Yes. So she does, as Heather McDonald would say, the toddler jump a la Bachelor. Yeah. There's another one here. Well, they're just standing close. But yeah, this is the closest one. But
they love attention.
Yeah, they do. And so she's got her legs wrapped around him. I mean, they're just missing each other so tremendously that she has to run towards him and hold him. But I mean, and I learned this from Spencer Pratt being on Heather McDonald's show, Juicy Scoop, about how really, truly, there's no paparazzi out anymore. It's not like paparazzi. Right. I mean, there may be a few hip nightclubs and restaurants that a few will hang out at, but for the most part, paparazzis have a relationship with these celebrities, with these stars, and the celebrities say, I'm going to be here, I'm going to be there. So this is clearly, I would put money on the fact that this is so staged. Like, there was not a paparazzo that just happened to be on this random street corner in LA and caught a bunch of photos of them canoodling and then a bunch of photos of them holding hands and going to all these places. They called them, and I think they did it strategically.
Yeah. Or do you think that maybe now, because everyone has a phone and a camera, do you think some random person just took those pictures and then sold them to, what is that, TMZ?
This is Daily Mail.
Daily Mail.
I mean, maybe. I really, honestly, I feel like they have PR people. Yeah. And I think their PR people were like, listen, it's coming down. You're getting fired on Friday. You guys are in LA. Let's hire a paparazzo. Let's tell a paparazzo where you're going to be. Yeah. Take a bunch of photos. Make it look like you don't have a care in the world and you two are so in love. Well, that would be my...
Yeah, they knew they were out. They've been actually doing a mediation with ABC. And, well, this is from TMZ. It says that during this mediation, according to sources, the network accused Robach of keeping liquor in her dressing room and coming in drunk the day after the 2022 college football championship. And there's the fact that Holmes, it has now been exposed that he had affairs with at least 3 ABC News employees, including a producer and a 24-year-old junior staffer.
And then there's the intern.
Oh,
no, and there's also a former intern.
Oh, great.
So that's one thing that we didn't really talk about last time when we were talking about this topic, which is, Amy, if you're out there listening, this TJ, TJ's got a problem.
The writing's on the wall.
He is a serial cheater. And I've worked with people like this where they'll come to me and they'll say, I have cheated on every single partner I've ever been with. Like, I've never been able to be faithful. And people always think that those people are the sleaziest, grossest people in the world. Right. And they're not. Like, just their clients, they're just people. And so there's this idea of what a serial cheater looks like or whatever it is. It's like, no, there's a lot of people out there that this is what they do. This is their drug. Like, this is how they cope with life and life's problems. They don't drink and they're not doing drugs, but and I don't know if he's having anonymous sex. Like, I don't know the full piece of it. And I'm not saying I'm calling him an addict, but it's that same drive that we saw with Tiger Woods. We saw with a lot of other people where it's the attention, it's the excitement, it's the intent, the attention of someone wanting them. It's the it's like a rush. Yeah, it's adrenaline. It's the same thing that you're going to get with a drug.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know what Amy's background is or not, but I just feel for her because I just think like, God, I don't think this is going to last.
I don't either.
And so I think they should have been on the air the whole time. I would have liked to watch this happen.
The ratings went up by 11% during the short time that they were there before, after it was exposed until they, put them on a break. But yeah, basically ABC said we all agreed it's best for everyone that they move on. So they've basically negotiated some kind of buyout of their contracts or whatever. But here's the thing. I didn't know who either one of these people were before the story broke. So now everyone knows who they are. So, they should do something with that.
No, they're productive. They're going to do a reality show.
You think so?
I think that they're either going to do some kind of news show, maybe a podcast, maybe something like that. But I think that if I was a reality producer, I think I would be running to get the two of them in the beginning of their relationship to see like what happens. Like they have this chemistry. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure their buyouts are enough that neither of them have to work again. So it's how much do they want to continue to work in news and what that looks like, or if they're just sort of like people aren't going to hire us for news anymore, so let's just do the reality.
Well, yeah, they're never going to be able to be considered serious news people. Not that they ever were to begin with. That's a very fair point. But yeah, they've got to go. I guess they've got to go the reality route.
Yes.
Anyway, I think our time with them has come to an end.
All right. Well, I put my money on that they called paparazzi as a way of, because I think that they needed to show we're fighting for love. Do you know what I mean? I think I think they needed to show to the world or to, whomever that not so much like we don't care about ABC and what they did to us, them letting us go, but we're so in love that we're fighting for this. Which, speaking of fighting for love, I subscribe to the Chris Harrison podcast, the greatest podcast, most dramatic podcast ever, because of us talking about The Bachelor. And I listened to the first 2 episodes, and then I kept it. So I was like, I want to hear what's on episode 4. So I could not listen to it much, but I did listen to him talk about the TJ Holmes and Amy Robach.
Oh, I didn't get that.
Oh, yes.
I listened to the first 15, 20 minutes
through or something. But basically, on his podcast, this is what he says is he starts talking about this, and he says, Harrison mentioned speculation that ABC was planning to cut ties with Robach and Holmes, that they had lawyered up, adding to that, I say, good for you guys, good for you. He is all for it. So he said, I have strong feelings about this. First of all, very sympathetic and empathetic understanding really of what they're going through.
No, please.
Because this is exactly what Chris Harrison, went through. And I'm not talking about morally. Say what you will about how this all has happened and how they've handled this. I will say none of us know. You don't know what's happening in anyone else's house. The headlines come out and they both have lawyered up and they are both fighting this. And to that I say, good on you. Good on you. You guys go. I've been in this business for a long time. You sign these contracts. There are morality clauses in there. It is morally reprehensible to fall in love. This is Chris Harrison.
Is that a
big question mark? Because that's what they've done. That is the crime that they are being punished for, is for falling in love. They are on level footing. They were co-hosts. Is it illegal or wrong to fall in love with someone equal to you and to follow those feelings?
Okay.
So this is this is all Chris Harrison. This is what he thought on his show. And I rolled my eyes and stopped listening.
Well, I want to address this.
Yes.
Is it illegal to illegal to fall in love? Well, first of all, reducing it down to that just shows how stupid he is.
Yeah.
It is illegal to do some of these things. In fact, in the article I read, it says that the company ABC said that their relationship was not a violation of company policy per se, but they waited too long to disclose it, and their behavior on set made others feel uncomfortable. That's why they're being let go. If they had come to the execs long ago and said, look, we've fallen in love.
Yes.
You know,
We're both getting divorced.
we're both getting a divorce. We're falling in love.
TJ, I just haven't talked to my wife about it yet, but I'll after this conversation, I'm going to go tell her about
then I have an intern or two and might have to call. So yeah, so let's keep this between us for now. Yeah, if they would have done that and they would have worked with ABC to figure out, okay, well, how are we gonna do this? And if they had been careful and not gone out in public, and hanging all over each other, and then come back on the set and then be like flirting with each other, they were uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable to watch them. It was like almost like they were flaunting it.
Yeah.
So yeah, they did break the law. They broke the contract, the policies of the network. So Chris Harrison, shut up. Please, shut up.
Oh, there's more to this too.
Oh my God.
So Chris Harrison, he's like, oh, this wouldn't have come as shocked. You know, he's like, I've worked in newsrooms myself and everybody knows everybody's business, blah, blah, blah. He suggested that ABC was taking a stand against the co-host because it doesn't look good publicly. And then so he added, TJ and Amy, good on you. Fight the good fight. I was going to suggest, by the way, I have an amazing lawyer if you guys need. And he kind of knows the opponent. So basically saying, you can know my lawyer. So let me know if you need anything, Amy and TJ, I'm here for you. And then he ended the discussion by saying that the pair should have a tell-all interview. And he volunteered to host it.
Of course. Because he's been through the same thing.
Oh, God, because he, too, is just a victim.
He's a victim.
Chris Harrison cannot think about anything beyond himself and his purview. So basically, he goes in, he goes into this idea or conversation or what he has to say. And listen, we too have a podcast. He has the right to say what he wants to say. But you can see so clearly, he sees everything through his lens. He sees everything through the same lens, which is, I also was fired by ABC. I'm a good person.
I'm a victim too.
I'm a victim and ABC is bad. And so therefore, TJ and Amy were all news people.
He's not a news person.
Because they're all quote unquote journalists.
Neither is Amy and TJ. Okay, let's be real. They are not news people.
But that just infuriates me how he's just so simple-minded.
He's
self-involved.
Simple-minded, self-involved, self-absorbed. I can't with him. And you know Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski from
they're like in local New York.
They're the Morning Joe.
Yes.
This at CNN. Anyway, they became a couple after they'd already been working together, and they, I think they both had gotten divorced. Same kind of thing, like started seeing each other, but did it the right way.
Yeah.
And like talked to the CNN people it's like there is a right way to do this, and they don't like flirt with each other. It's funny because you could never even tell that they were a couple because they're very serious. They do not flirt with each other. So, okay. And I have to talk about the 15 minutes that I listened to the Chris Harrison podcast.
After that, I had to delete Chris Harrison because I was like, I am not going to give you one more download. No, you need to know.
Well, I thought he was going to be doing a relationship podcast.
That's what I thought he said. Maybe
he did. He did say that. But so his first two guests after his introductory stuff. Well, before we even get to the guests, he comes on and he says, I have to address something that has happened and people are talking about it and something having to do with the Bachelor. And I was thinking, oh no, did some other racist thing come out about him? Because he's like, I'm not going to address it, but I just want to say Deanna, I don't even know her last name, who was a former bachelorette, and her husband are getting a divorce.
Oh my God. That is shocking.
He's like, I'm not going to say anything more about it, but I wish them the best. I know that they're going to do the right thing. They have children. And I'm like, okay, I thought there was some big breaking news. Okay, so he has on Ben Higgins, who was a former bachelor, and then that guy Wells, who was in Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah,
bartender.
Who I think is a good friend of his. I think these two are I think they're personal friends.
Yeah, they were all at a golf tournament together. I mean, they're at There is some golf tournament in Texas or something. I don't know.
Hold on. Before you get into that, though, sorry. I just remembered something from what I heard. So he addresses the Nick Viall thing. Did you hear him talk about Nick Viall? So I think that I feel like, so Nick,
what is the Nick Viall
so
thing?
basically when,
that was on the we talked
about that, about how Nick Viall was like, well, God, I wasn't trying to take your job. Or I think Nick Viall was like, so what? We can all, go for your job if you want to. Basically, Chris Harrison made some sort of offhand comment that Nick Viall was one of the people that was scrounging around for his job after he was fired. And they brought it up to Nick Viall in his podcast, and Nick Viall said, he just sort of brushed it off and was like, whatever, you need to, what did he say? You need to, what's the phrase? Like, you need to take accountability, basically. This thing that we were saying,
right?
Just there's no accountability. And so then Chris Harrison comes back on and he's like, he wants to address the Nick Viall stuff. And he says, one thing is apparently Nick Viall and his girlfriend, who's a good 15 years younger than him, they're getting engaged. And basically Chris Harrison somehow thought that that's why Nick Viall reacted the way he did, because he had a lot on his mind because he was going to get engaged, or that maybe Nick Viall, it was so bizarre. It was really bizarre, but really
the way he thinks.
Yeah, the reasoning behind this stuff. It's like, no, he was just answering a question. He knows he was going to get engaged soon. Like, I don't think that's
your
taken
comment over his brain.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
Oh, well, anyway, so he's basically...
they're at a golf.
They're at a golf.
These three guys.
And they're just broing out. Ugh. Totally talking about The Bachelor. And Chris is talking like he is one of them. Like he's, it was really weird because he's got to be in his 50s, probably close to 60. I don't know.
I think he's in his 50s.
So, and these other guys are in their 30s. You couldn't tell if you were just listening, you'd think, you don't know who these people were. You'd be like, oh, this is a bunch of like 25-year-olds talking, maybe 30. I mean, he's just so immature. He just like, just the stuff.
What is there to talk about The Bachelor?
No, the stuff that they were saying, they were just talking about. They were talking all about The Bachelor and how cool it was to be around all these great, with everyone. It's great. You guys were great. You guys are some of my great friends. We're all so close. Bachelor Nation, and it's like, wait, Chris, I thought you were moving on, because wasn't that part of what he said?
Yeah, this is a new chapter.
This is a new chapter. He's moving on. It's like, no, you're going backwards, actually, because at least when you were the host of you kind of had some, seniority. You're supposed to be smarter than these dumb guys who come on the show. You're supposed to be the voice of reason or something. Yeah. No, now it's like he's broing out with them and he's one of them. And they're like, it's just so cool, and I don't know. I can't even remember details of it.
Maybe we should start hate listening to the episodes and report back, because now I'm really fascinated. But I think I think it's the same thing that we talked about, which is like, I think I can listen to 5 or 10 minutes and then I get insane. I just I get so angry that I have to turn it off, which is exactly what I did this last time. Because I think I saw that he had those two on and I'm like, I don't know these people, nor do I. What do I care about what these people have to say?
And you know what? Well, Ben Higgins, I think, has a Bachelor podcast. Oh, and that's one of the things Ben Higgins was talking about, how, I'm not really in this world anymore. And then someone pointed out to him, except that you have a Bachelor podcast and you're talking to Bachelor people.
Yeah.
That's all you do is talk to Bachelor people. And he's like, oh, yeah, well, no, none of you guys have moved on.
No.
You're all still doing this.
And the thing is that for Wells and for Ben, you please, you're so recent that you went on the show because you wanted to find a platform to do it. I'm all for it. Like, I don't have anything against that, but don't pretend like that you're over it or whatever. It's part of who you are. You can't, it's why we're all paying attention to you. It's why you're getting, you got a podcast to begin with.
Yeah.
Is all of these things. So just embrace it. But yes, the Chris Harrison stuff is so, is he just the dullest person, or just no sense of anything?
Tone deaf. He's the most tone deaf, like vanilla, nothing there but person I have ever.
You know what he is? This is who Chris Harrison is. You are at a wedding. You don't know a ton of people. You know a few people. you're sitting you get placed next to him. And you kindly say, hi, who are you? What do you do? Oh, okay, great. And they talk to you and talk at you for the entire meal, for dancing, for drinks, for cake cutting. And they never ask you one question about yourself. And I hate those people. Yeah. And when I encounter one of those people, I put it in the back of my brain and I'm like, this person is because if you do not feel uncomfortable that you've been talking incessantly about yourself at some point, because anyone with some sense of, decency or how conversations work. That too. But anybody who has a certain level of curiosity about other people and caring and understanding will eventually become uncomfortable simply talking about themselves, and they're going to want to say, I've been talking too much. I want to hear about you.
Yeah.
So the person who never does that is just, there's a lot of narcissism there. That's all.
Well, I think I'm going to hate listen for at least a few more episodes because all
right, maybe we should, I'll start hate listening.
It's kind of cathartic for me. Now, should we make a prediction on how long this podcast lasts?
That's the other thing too, but it's by iHeartRadio. So, and he's able to do it wherever he wants. And I bet you he can last for a while with all these Bachelor people.
True.
But I really
want to know what moving on.
He's not. But I really want to know what the numbers are. Like, I am very curious if there was a huge drop after those first couple episodes. Because I think a lot of people did tune in, whether they liked him or not. A lot of people tuned in to hear what he had to say, and I think I went on his social media at one point, and all the people that are like respond to his social media love him.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. There's a huge swath of the country that watches this show. Obviously, it's still on the air. I'm sure the ratings are still good.
Yeah.
I mean, who take this stuff seriously and who like these people and listen to all these podcasts. There's so many Bachelor podcasts. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's probably not his main source of income or enough to survive on, but it keeps him out there, keeps him, I guess, relevant.
Kind of. But I mean, I guess the numbers aren't going to matter. I don't know. I would just be curious. So do you think that he would end the podcast himself? Like, this is too much work. I don't want to do this anymore?
I think he loves it. I think
you think
to hear himself talk.
Oh, yeah. But then do you think that iHeartRadio then will pull the plug and be like, oh, this sucks?
I don't know, because if it's not really costing them a lot to produce, because they have all the infrastructure and everything. So as long as they're making any amount of money off of it, although I didn't hear any ads.
No, there haven't been any ads. That's the other interesting thing, which is why I was surprised when he said, I'm on iHeartRadio, because I really, truly think he was like us, like putting in a microphone in a thing and just going.
Yeah.
And having someone edit it for them.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe if iHeart produces other podcasts that could feed off of it, like you could get cross listeners or I don't know how it works.
So I'm sorry, I think I cut you off. What's the prediction of what?
Of how long the podcast is going to last.
I don't, and that's the thing. If you're right, if they're making enough money and it's working, then maybe. And if he has enough fans, I mean, definitely some of the comments under his Instagram posts were there would like be, oh, Chris Harrison, we missed you. Oh, you're so great. Blah, 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 blah. And there'd be someone who's like, yeah, but you didn't really address the issue. I don't feel like, and then, and then there's another person who's there. So I do think there are people who notice what we noticed. We're not alone in what we thought or what we saw. There's other people that are like, wait a second here. This is not at all addressing anything. But there were far more of the other people.
Yeah.
Who are...
Or those are the people who are going to go there and seek... I mean, if you're going to go to someone's Instagram and leave a comment, you're looking for them.
Yeah.
Because you like them, most likely.
Well,
unless you like to hate,
I was just very curious to see his Instagram profile and like, what is he putting up there? And what are people saying? Because I don't know. I have my opinions, but I do like to go out there and say, okay, what is everyone else talking? Is my opinion everybody else's or not? And, I do it because I'm always asking myself, like, am I crazy? No, or even, do I need to look at this differently? Am I not getting something? Am I not like, being empathetic and all of that? you know.
Well, much like Cody Brown, he's kind of become one of these people I love to hate.
Yes.
So I'll probably follow him for a little while.
Yeah. We should put like Cody Brown, Chris Harrison. Who else can we put in a house together?
God, people with the biggest egos and the least self-awareness, put them all together in a house.
With very little talent. Because the other part of it is some of these people who have these giant egos who are incredibly talented, maybe I won't want to spend time with them, but okay, you're talented. You are special. You know,
You have something to give to the world.
Yeah, you are changing the world. But Chris Harrison, I'm sorry, but other white middle-aged guy, they could have just put him in there and it would have been the same show. Yeah. Like the show is special not because of you.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Oh
God. Chris Harrison. All right. So next, I want to talk about Kanye.
Okay.
Because I thought this was kind of interesting and it brings up this question, which is, so Kanye West was leaving his daughter North's basketball game. And apparently this wasn't paparazzi or anything. This was just a, average person who, maybe goes to North school or something, who started filming Kanye as he was leaving on her phone. And he was like, he got mad at her. He said something to her like, hey, stop filming me. Like, I'm not here for me. This isn't an event. Stop filming him. And then she basically was like, no, I have the right to film you and on my phone and you can't say anything. So apparently he I think went into her car, grabbed her phone and took the phone and threw it down. And now cops were called. He's got this assault charge. And then they went and interviewed. So I think these were actual paparazzi, but they went to Kim and said, will you comment on this? And she said, no, I'm not going to comment on this. Please do not talk about these things, in front of my children. And then kind of stormed off. And then apparently the paparazzi, I think, apologized to her and said, I'm so sorry, I won't. So this is, I think, the Kanye, sorry, Ye, he goes by Ye now. Ye, sorry. So uncool I am. The one thing about Ye is, and this is the same debate, because we've been debating this for decades, which is, right, this is the kind of stuff that Sean Penn did, in the 80s when he was married to Madonna. And back then, I really felt very strongly about the fact that, yeah, people, these paparazzi and these people, they're very, very intrusive, but you made a choice. Like, you made a choice, to act in large films, to be the star. There are a lot of people, and I know because I was in Hollywood, there are a lot of people who are simply voice actors. There are a lot of people that, are not the leads of things. There are a lot of people that don't go to these events, that don't marry another famous person. Like, if you really want to have a very, very, very private life where you don't want people filming you and you don't want to be recognized anywhere, there is a way to do that creatively. There really is. Though now I'm kind of changing, and again, these are their kids, and I do understand this because the kids didn't pick this. And I think that what's changed, obviously, since the 80s is the fact that everyone has a phone. Right. Mm-hmm. Everyone has a way of filming someone taking a picture. And I can imagine for, a celebrity that it feels even more intrusive than it did before. So I do have some empathy for the fact that, like, when you turn to someone and say, hey, can you not film me? I'm just leaving my kid's basketball game, that there needs to be some level of respect. I don't think that she should be filming him after he said to stop. And I don't think he should be grabbing her in a car and throwing her phone down. Like, none of that is, his reaction to it was not okay. But I do always come back to this idea of, listen, Kim Kardashian, you've built your entire business, your $1 billion world based on us watching what your family does. Mm-hmm. So there's another part of me that kind of feels like, and you do put your kids on your show and your kids are on your Instagrams and all of that, like, do we really, do they have the right to have this level of privacy? That's my question to you, because I'm very undecided.
Well, okay, so what Kanye did was completely wrong.
Yes.
And criminal and absolutely horrible. And I don't know, here's a man who's a worldwide celebrity and he's been in situations with paparazzi and for, most of his life. Why did this particular incident set him off? It was harmless. It's like, okay, so what? A woman got a video of you walking to your car with North after a soccer game. It's valueless. I mean, she's going to go show her friends. It's not like it's going to end up on TMZ.
Yeah.
And even if it did, we've all seen I've seen tons of pictures of both Kim and Kanye at North's soccer game, basketball game, whatever. A lot of times they post them themselves.
Yes, they are.
You know,
so North plays a lot of sports.
Yes, North is
she is a very active child.
She is. And so it's kind of like, God, Kanye, you just took something that was so meaningless and you just made it into something. And he did that in front of his daughter. He committed an act of violence in front of his daughter.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Nothing.
I don't think what Kanye did was okay.
And then asking Kim about it, I don't really like that either, because again, if North is with her and again, North is being, re-traumatized, and I'm sure that was very traumatizing for North to witness that. Now,
one of many things that I think poor North is seeing.
She's seen too much already. Then she's re-traumatized by some guy asking her mom about it. And I think Kim is right to say, don't ask me this in front of her. She's right there. This is already bad enough. So don't make me. So I think Kim is in the right. I think there's a line that even the Kardashians, deserve.
Yes, I do believe. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm not as black and white as I was in the 80s, because I was much younger. So I don't feel like that, you're a celebrity and this is just how it is. But at the same time, yes, Ye continues to create a lot of this stuff, right? I mean, he could have just walked the issues. Yes, the issues. Yes, he's the one creating absolutely these issues. Anyway, I just thought it was like an interesting topic and an idea of like, what is the line? Is this okay? Is this not okay? I do feel for celebrities who have kids and their kids didn't sign up for this and they want to protect them, and they, I can't imagine being someone that everyone thinks they know you and security and what that does to you. But at the same time, there's just a little bit of this, okay, so this is a line. I just feel like this is the lines are kind of, fuzzy. That's all.
I don't know. Well, I think North, she seems to like, she makes a lot of TikToks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen some of those with her mom.
And with her, I saw one that she and her sister, Chicago, did one where they did each other's edges.
That Chicago, can I just say, that Chicago is the most gorgeous child.
She's super cute.
She is going to be, if she wants to be Chicago, you can be anything you want to be. But
you don't have to go into show business or modeling.
Yes, but she is such a stunner. Such a stunner.
Yeah. And the video is really cute because I'd never heard her talk before.
Oh, you haven't? Then you haven't seen that other video where she corrects the younger kid. Oh. So Sam, I guess, this was hands down probably the best Kardashian video, Sam was, I think, reciting one of Kanye's songs. And she goes, "No, Sami, it's like this." And she it was hands down the cutest thing you would ever see. She's so gorgeous. And I mean, all of the kids are.
They're all, and
Chicago is really.
Chicago is very, and North is becoming a very beautiful.
Yes, she is, and she's got her own look, and she's going to be in that Paw Patrol. She's going to be a voice on Paw Patrol with her mom.
I think she likes this stuff. She wants it. She's into it, and trust me, this is the next generation.
Yes, it is.
All these kids, True, the one who's Rob's. I'm blanking on Rob.
Rain.
No, Rob's daughter. Dream is beautiful. So Stormy. I mean, they're all
super cute.
They're all gorgeous. They're gonna be the next, like in 10, 15, 20 years, whatever. Even probably sooner. I mean, they're gonna become. This Kardashian thing's gonna go on.
Yeah, they're everywhere. The Kardashians are taking
infinity, and then they're gonna they're gonna have beautiful kids.
Yeah.
And so yeah, but that, Kanye, geez, way to go. That was a very bad parenting.
That's the thing. You look at Kim Kardashian and, all the money in the world, beautiful, beautiful woman, achieved everything that she's ever wanted to achieve and beyond probably her wildest dreams. And she still has to deal with this guy.
Yeah.
She still has to deal with a difficult co-parenting situation. So nobody has it all.
No.
All right. So we want to talk about the Oscars or movies in general. What happened to the movies? So when I was back in my day, when I was working in Hollywood, I knew like every movie that came out, I pretty much saw. I had seen everything. I, knew what studios produced it, who the producers were, who this was, who the stars were, all of that kind of stuff. And slowly over the years, I watched less and less movies. I watch a lot of TV, but I watch less and less movies. And then the Oscars come out and I'm like, okay, well, let me see who's nominated. And it's just, haven't seen any of these movies, and I'm sure they're great. Yeah. But there's something about how streaming services and COVID and everything has changed movies, and it's just not the same anymore.
Yeah, and also television has gotten exponentially better.
Yes, it's so good.
And and better than movies in a lot of cases. And it's something you can watch in your home easily every week. It's kind of your little, thing, or you can binge it or do whatever. But yeah, the Oscar nominations, I've only seen one of the films, which one did the Elvis film.
Oh, is that good?
It's great.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'll love that out. Well, I want to see that
everything, everywhere, all at once.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to check that out because it got a lot of nominations. Everyone says it's amazing. So I want to see that. The other part of it too is that one of the reasons why I don't watch a lot of the movies is, especially Oscar movies, have always been very, very heavy. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of like, oh God, I used to be able to just go to the movies and just like watch a movie and leave. But now I just find it really hard to just, do I really want to watch this awful thing for the next 2 hours? It's just so hard. I don't have it in me sometimes. Certain stories, certain things. I'm just like, ugh.
Well, heaviness. It's an effort. And now I'm always confused when movies come out. I never know. Some movies are released only in theaters. Some are released in the theater and then you can get it streaming. I never know which it is. I never know which streaming service. Like it's somewhat, and the same thing with television. I never know. Oh, is that on Netflix? Is that on Hulu? When does that start? When is it? I mean, it gets so overwhelming to me and confusing. I don't know what to watch, when, where. And it used to be when the nominations came out, any films that I hadn't seen, I would go to the theater, and if I wanted to see them and make sure I saw them before the Oscars, and I'd watch we both are like, watch the Oscars live. It was a big thing. Now it's just kind of like, oh, the Oscars, I haven't seen any of these movies. And I was just telling you that in downtown Berkeley, where, you grew up, there's not a single movie theater open anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
It used to have, 6 little kind of independent, couple, maybe one big one, maybe like 5 independent movie theaters that would have, 2 films. Mm-hmm. And they'd always have all the Oscar films. And
yeah, all the movie theaters were in this one small, like there were 3 in a one little block area downtown Berkeley. And yeah, they're all closed. The only movie theaters that are really open are the ones where there's a specialty one near where I live now, which is like one of these places where you can eat pizza and beer, and they have like a baby night, and they've got it this night and that night. It's kind of all novelty stuff.
Or the big the AMCs.
Yes, that managed to survive.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to do, you can still go and watch a movie, but a lot of them you have to reserve if you want, or like bring food. It's a whole thing. But I don't know what's going to happen, because last year's Oscars were, a mess,
a total mess.
And I love Amy Schumer. I love Regina King. I love Wanda Sykes, but they did not do a great job. Personally, I think there were 3 funny, talented women, and they did not. The jokes were stale. The gags were stale. It was all just really, ugh. I mean, if you even have eliminated the Will Smith, Chris Rock stuff, like just the show itself wasn't very good. And so that's the problem, right? The movies used to be an event, and the Oscars used to be an event. And so now that movies aren't an event anymore, and the Oscars aren't really an event. And so where do we go from here? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of one of these things where I feel like, you know, when our kids are grown up, you know, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, my parents, they used to go to the movie theater. And I used to go when I was a kid, but, you know, they don't have those anymore.
Yeah.
They're going to be telling their
Kind of like, you know, having a phone, having a dial-up
rotary phone
or like dial-up internet or something like that.
machine or something.
Though I like Jimmy Kimmel, so I'm excited to see what he does. Yeah, he's hosting it this year. So I'm excited to see what he does. But what I'll do is what I did with the Golden Globes, which is like, oh, wait, it's a Tuesday? The Globes are on? Oh, okay. And then just going on YouTube and saying, okay, let me see this. Oh,
The highlights.
yeah, Jennifer Coolidge, let me see her acceptance speech. Let me see this. Let me see that. Great. I'm done. I've been there. You know, I'm good. And I feel like, okay, I've done enough.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should try to see a few of these movies and have a little Oscar party. Like the good old days.
Well, when are the Oscars? They're in March, right? So now I'm kind of like, okay, I've got a month to get all
Question. Yeah. And now
it feels like homework.
it is homework because now they nominate so many more movies than they used to. We're trying to get more variety, but it's not really. I mean, there's no comedies in here, I don't think. Is this The Fabelmans? Is that a comedy?
I don't know. I don't think so.
The rest of these do not sound like. I mean, All Quiet on the Western Front. Someone made a movie about. I mean,
that sounds awful.
Rating that solid, but let's see, 2023 Oscars.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people love Avatar. I really don't care about those Avatar movies.
I'm not a sci-fi person.
Yeah.
March 12th.
Okay. But see, time. Yeah, it's a lot of pressure, though. It's a lot of pressure.
I'm going to see this Everything Everywhere All at Once. I want to see women talking.
Yes.
I don't know what it's about, but it's just the title alone, you know.
All right.
The Fabelmans, maybe.
That's what we're doing here. Women talking.
That's right. Anyway, we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, I think we should wrap it up. This bonus was supposed to be like 30 minutes, but we just chatted. Okay.
Women talking.
Women are talking.
Well, thanks for listening. We'll see you
very soon.
Yeah,
we'll be back.
You'll hear from us soon. We'll have our 90-day episode, and please, in the meantime, subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already.
5-star review. Tell a friend, tell a few friends. Buy my book, True You, a step-by-step guide to conquering your quarter-life crisis. Go to my website, tessbrigham.com.
Yeah, that's a lot to do.
Yeah, that is a lot to do.
So get on it.
So do the book first. Read the entire book, give me a review, and then review the podcast. I'm kidding. All right. Pressure here. Alrighty.
Okay, see you soon.
Bye.
The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA's heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.